Freaky fun for everyone. Sold
Leonardo, the katana blade. My God.
Attack the evil Inhumanoid, forcing him back into the earth.
Hey, the name's Boglins. You sold separately.
In battle, our hero and Skeletor each sold separately. You put them out together.
Turn them into the light, and they change into even more powerful.
Battle against Lion-O and the new Thundercat ally.
Drop the beat. Here you go. You're supposed to come in.
To what?
The beat.
What beat?
I was dropping it.
What? Dropping what beat?
I was dropping the beat. You're supposed to flow.
Flow what?
Brighter. Flow in.
I have no idea. Hey guys, welcome to That New Toy Smell here on the Pop Culture Network.
You don't get it.
I am your co-host, DiRT, along with...
Your co-host, Killen.
There you go. We are co-hosts.
No one takes credit for this. We're only partially responsible.
And again, Scotty is busy because it's too late at night, and boo-hoo, he's got to get up early in the morning. That little nerd, I don't know when he's ever going to be here.
Gotta go pay the bills. And go.
I have a job that starts at 6 a.m. Well, good for you. You know, that's your fault. Can't help you there. So anyway, this week on the show, we're going to be talking about... well, first, you've got the Funko Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles we're going to talk about from the blind box. And then we've got a Chucky doll from Child's Play. Who's that by?
Mezco.
Okay.
I think about it. Mezco.
From that toy company. And then our main video segment today is going to be talking about Mattel's Secret Wars figures. Yeah. So what are we going to start with? What are we going to do first?
Let's just do the video.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Mattel's Secret Wars toys. Here's a little background for you, okay, just so you know. DC was going to start a new toy line, and Kenner had this idea of making the action features superpowered figures that became the Superpowers line, right?
Okay.
So they were going to go pitch that to DC. So Mattel finds out that Kenner has this deal. That they're going to go in and pitch these toys. So they want to get in on it. They try to get in and pitch their toy line before Kenner can. So they set up a meeting, they go in, and they pitch a toy line where all the figures will have the same body. You just have to put new arms on a couple of them, maybe some new legs, you tool a new head, but you can reuse the same parts for most of the figures, and that way you save a lot of money, you get more profit, and it's just an easy way to get a bunch of figures out at once, right?
Okay.
So they pitch that to DC, and then Kenner comes in and pitches the Superpowers line that has the action features and the bright colors and all of that stuff. And DC says, hands down, we're going with Kenner. These superpower things, these are awesome. That's what we're doing. And so then Mattel just goes, oh, crap, we didn't get the DC job. Hey, let's go to Marvel. And they just scratch everything out, and they draw Daredevil and Captain America, and they go into Marvel and pitch it to Marvel, and Marvel says, well, okay, well, I guess DC's got the Kenner deal, so we'll go with you guys. And so that's how the Marvel Secret Wars line came along. Yeah. So anyway, here's a look at Mattel's Secret Wars line for Marvel.
That's too long of a story.
You're welcome. Even though the idea of the Secret Wars toy line was based around the idea of economy, Mattel still wanted Marvel to produce a tie-in comic book series. Marvel had recently published the limited edition Contest of the Champions series and decided to one-up themselves with the 12-issue limited edition Secret Wars comic book series. The series chronicled the story of the Beyonder, who brings a whole bunch of heroes and villains together in order to battle. Following this idea, the toy line brought forth 8 characters for their initial wave. They had Dr. Octopus, Magneto, Kang, and Dr. Doom as the main 4 villains. Your heroes were Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Wolverine. All characters came with a shield, heroes with a round red shield, villains with a silver square shield. The shield had a lenticular cover, and there were cardboard cutouts that could be placed within the shield. When tilted or rotated, the scene on the shield would change. These scenes would either feature a battle scene, or it would show the character changing from his secret identity to his heroic or villainous persona. Characters like Spider-Man and Captain America, who were not known for using weapons, didn't come with any. And another character, Dr. Octopus, who came with his own set of octopus tentacles, didn't come with any sort of guns or other attachments. Wolverine, because he was known for having claws that pop out of his hands, came with detachable claws that would clip onto his wrist to give the desired clawed effect. Dr. Doom, Magneto, Kang, and Iron Man all came with the same double-barreled pistol, although Dr. Doom also came with a large assault rifle. Multi-packs were also released, either showing a face-off between Captain America and Dr. Doom, hero versus villain, or in 3-packs with the heroic pack of Captain America, Spider-Man, and Iron Man, or the villainous 3-pack with Dr. Doom, Magneto, and Kang. And while the idea behind Series 1 was heroes versus villains in an equal number, Series 2 decided to bring a lot more heroes than villains to the table. You've got the villains of Hobgoblin and Baron Zemo making their debut. Heroes, though, were Daredevil, Falcon, Spider-Man in his new black suit, and Wolverine with black claws. Now, the Black Claw Wolverine was made simply to show it as being different from the one from Series 1. He was a popular enough character that they wanted to sell him again to a whole nother group of collectors and kids. However, it's this Black Claw version that's actually worth a whole lot on eBay. Good luck finding one mint on card on the low. More multi-packs were also released at this time, with the villains Hobgoblin and Zemo available in a 2-pack, and the heroes of Daredevil, Black Suit Spider-Man, and Captain America available in a 3-pack. When the line of figures ended in the United States, several figures were still released in European markets. Europe was able to get Constrictor, Electro, and Iceman, who weren't available in the US. There were also other planned figures such as Dazzler and the Abomination that were supposed to come out but never saw the light of day. Of course, every toy line worth its salt also has playsets and vehicles. And again, following the idea of economy, Mattel released several of them redecoed to either be heroic or villainous. The main playsets, though, were the Freedom Fighter playset, which showed Captain America and Spider-Man on sort of a 3D chess-looking assembly with some sort of landing pad, satellite gear, and laser rifle, and the Villains Tower of Doom playset, which was, of course, Dr. Doom's wonderful, fantastic hideout, which featured spring-loaded trap doors, a hidden compartment, and a laser turret at the top. This one was awesome. It's one of my favorite playsets of all time. One of the original toys is the Doom Roller. This large wheel has a robotic car on the inside, which can move across the wheel almost like a hamster stuck in a hamster ball. It was a lot of fun. I still enjoy playing with this one. For the redecoed and reused toys, there was the Star Glider and the Dart Glider. One came with Kang and was black, and one came with black costume Spider-Man and was white, but they were both the same toy. Same thing for the Doom Copter and the Turbo Copter. One was Dr. Doom's evil helicopter, and one was Captain America's heroic helicopter. And the same thing with the Cycle, the Doom Cycle and the Turbo Cycle. Although I never saw Dr. Doom and Captain America racing on motorcycles in the comics, now I kind of wish I had. The toy line may have ended all too early, and the toys really didn't have a whole lot of accessories, posability, or even a lot of just general fun characteristics that you'd expect in a major toy line. However, because of the time period in which they came out, the price that they sold for, the markets they were able to get into, and just the near and dear place in our hearts that we hold them, Secret Wars was popular enough that they became part of the new Marvel figure line, with new 3 3/4 inch figures hitting market a few years ago. bundled with a reprint issue of the comic book, and using updated versions of these classic characters, or even some of the characters that never made it to the original release. This may not have been as successful a toy line as the DC Superpowers line. However, many of us still enjoy collecting and playing with this line today. Okay, guys, welcome back. So we've got a playset, we got a vehicle, we got a bunch of the figures here.
Okay.
And here, I want you to see, take some of these characters. Like, here's Captain America, here's Magneto.
All right.
Look at how similar they are.
Okay, so, yeah, they're basically the same body, right?
And they're using the same arms for
Just
both of them.
different
He's
heads?
got different boots.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But then, like, if you take Wolverine, same body,
yeah, same
different
body.
head. He doesn't have the gauntlets on there, but otherwise his legs are the same as Magneto. If we take Kang, the Conqueror, here's what
I don't know if you ever held one of these, but they feel like really rubbery.
They are. I mean, this is
like
when I was little. I mean, these are Kang. Here's my original Kang from when I was a kid. No accessories, no armor anymore. And then here's the good one I bought. But I mean, this is one of the first toys I remember buying with my own money.
I feel like very toxic.
And there was an Eisner grocery store that we used to go to, and they actually had these at the Eisner grocery store, and I had to save up my own allowance, and I would go with my mom when she went to buy groceries at the grocery store, and I bought Kang, I bought Dr. Octopus, I bought Magneto and Wolverine, and those were and Dr. Doom. Those were the ones I had as a kid.
Well, like, I'm trying to remember a moment that I remember these as a kid, and I just kind of don't. Like, maybe
See, like,
the Iron Man, but
see, look at Iron Man. Look at his gauntlets. They're the same as what Dr. Doom and Kang both have.
Okay.
They're just colored different. The boots of Dr. Doom are the same as the boots that are on Iron Man. I mean, they've just reused.
Well, and then the body.
Now, see, these bodies are different body types, but that's because they're reusing these pieces. You see? So, on someone like Baron Zemo here, Baron Zemo gets new arms and boots because he's got his little fur fluff on him, but otherwise it's the same basic body type being reused again. And the accessories that they came with, like they came with these guns. If they had a gun, they came with that. Everybody had that exact same gun. All the bad guys had this gray shield.
Okay.
All the good guys had the red shield. You know, so they were just reusing the accessories on everybody. And really the only difference was Dr. Doom had a big rifle that you could snap on his back, and Wolverine had his claws that you could snap onto his wrists, and then Dr. Octopus had these arms.
What about Captain America? Did he have a shield that was this?
No, it
shield?
was this shield. It was just one of
that
his red
is
shields.
Lame. That is lame.
So that's how they would reuse them. And that was their way of maximizing the profits, saving the money by reusing those pieces. So, and then even some of the accessories, we talk about this a little bit in that video, but like the turbo cycle. That's the Captain America turbo cycle. Well, they had a Doom cycle. It's the exact same thing, except it's black instead of blue.
Well, that makes sense.
You know, the helicopter was the same way. It was a blue helicopter for Captain America. It was a black one for Dr. Doom. You know, it's just...
Well, except then you get something like this that's just clearly unique, right?
Right. And that was only for the evil side.
And
They
this
didn't
is
have a good
this is a
version.
very dangerous thing.
You can't turn it off once it starts.
So, like, obviously this had to get recalled or something, right?
No,
Because how did you not hurt yourself? Can you hurt yourself?
Not really.
Ow. Well, you almost have to stop it. This is like, well, kind of.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a neat idea, and it works. If you set it on the floor and let it run, you can put down blocks and Legos, whatever, and it'll roll right over them because of the teeth that it has in it and everything. So.
Well, yeah, this thing's kind of cool, I guess.
It works, and then this, like,
it's a terrible, like, vehicle design, but this...
You would never want to do that in real life.
But this thing is kind of cool, you know?
And it's also, it doubles as a thrill ride at Six Flags.
My favorite part about this ride is when the safety glass comes
Glass
off
opens.
and you fall to your death.
Oh. Okay, there you go. Now you just have a little car.
Wow. Well, that's what that. You should do that. Forget this thing and just roll out in this
Little buggy.
terrible looking.
Now this.
And what is this supposed to be?
That's just a antenna. Just a.
I don't know, a laser maybe?
It's bling.
Oh, it's a laser. Look,
It's bling.
it's a laser.
That's what it is.
Can you see that? It's a laser.
Now I love this playset. I played with this playset all the time
Okay.
growing up. So
What's
you've
it-
got
what's it do?
working elevator over here, right there. This chair at the top. So you've got a guy in here and he's shooting, and then he gets shot at. There's a little quick release here that makes the chair fall back and he falls out. See, because he got shot. You've got a secret door right here to get into the little headquarters.
And can he?
Woo!
I guess he can fit.
Yeah, and they can fit.
Alright.
You've got a secret compartment back here. If you take this gun off the front and poke it in the hole, you got a little secret compartment. You can put stuff. So normally you would take like these little things inside the shield, the little extra paper pieces, and throw them in there.
So if you stab your gun at the wall,
And then it opens a secret compartment.
well, now it makes sense why there's a gun.
Look, this is the big action feature it had. So you've got your hero comes to the tower to find the bad guys, right?
Okay.
And he's going to take them to mete out justice. Bam! Captured. See, so you've got these gates that close, and you've got a jail door in the back that close on there. That was the big thing. I mean, this is what trapped every good guy got trapped by that thing.
And what's that with the Professor X chair?
And then you just have this command chair. You got computers over here that he can sit in, and then you can come over here, and you got more computers over here, See?
Huh. You know,
This thing's awesome.
no.
I love this
I have a
thing.
problem with play sets. Like, I just can't. As a collector, I don't do the play sets. There's a couple that are iconic that, like, let's say, Castle Grayskull for whatever reason. Regardless if there's anything inside of it, you just want that silhouette
Because it's a giant skull.
behind your collection because it's it's a main piece. But this is ridiculous.
But I played with this all the time as a kid. I mean, this was the perfect, because this was the same scale as the DC Superpowers, as the G.I. Joe.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying, as a collector, you obviously want the pieces, and as a kid, it made a lot of sense. But on reflection as an adult, I'm looking at my child self and going, I don't understand what we found so awesome about this thing.
Okay, wait, here's what you're missing, okay? See the elevator here? All right, you take the elevator. See, they've got their hand. They can grip onto here. And then when the elevator comes up to the top, it keeps going because it's got rockets on the bottom. See? So now it's flying platform. See?
It does make all the difference.
See? Doesn't it?
Okay, so basically, well, what about this dude?
What, Dr. Octopus? First time you ever seen him?
Yo, what is his name? Okay, so, but clearly this has got to be a different body then, right? Because there's holes in it.
It's the same body, they just put holes in
Did
it.
these come off?
No, they drilled holes in the side and then just stuck tabs in
Okay,
them.
I'm glad you told me because I almost ripped them out.
Because it's the same body. They just put holes in it to put those attachments. But he didn't come with any guns like the other guys, and all they did was make him a new head. It's the same basic leg and same basic arms.
Okay, and who don't you have?
Let's see. Well, I have somewhere a Spider-Man, but I can't find it. There's a Daredevil I'm missing. There's a Hobgoblin I'm missing.
Really?
There's a black suit Spider-Man I'm missing.
So, a lot.
I think that's about it.
Okay. Well,
But like I said, like this is Kang for whatever reason is the first one I ever bought. I don't know why. Maybe because he's a time traveler, and I just always loved time travel. But I can remember, I mean, this was like '84, so I started 3rd grade that year. So I remember being at the Eisner grocery store and trying to convince my mom to let me spend my allowance to buy Kang the Conqueror.
now, see, as a toy store owner, occasionally we do get some of these, but for me, as a collector, looking at these figures, I'm thinking them on card is far superior than them loose because these are like, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting cancer by touching them.
Well, they are. I mean, the plastic is very.
And now
rubbery.
that you like pointed out all the interchangeable parts and how it's the same figure over and over and over, I kind of like, I don't know. I feel less impressed by this.
And you can see, like, I have 2 Captain Americas here, and you can see that they've both rubbed off a lot of paint.
Yeah.
Their heads are both beat up. The little ear wing things are all.
But they were made in
beat up.
Hong Kong, so that's good.
They were. So. But like I said, one of my favorite toy lines as a kid growing up, so.
I just can't. I'm trying really hard to pull up memories of it, and the only thing I can get close to is the Iron Man. But I'm really confused because it looks so much like the Toy Biz ones that I'm having a hard time placing it.
Yeah, and this only lasted 2 years on the market. 2 years, and then this was gone. It was really a tie-in. They had Marvel do the Secret Wars comic series to sell it. And then when the comic series was over, it was like interest in the line kind of died because it was a line marketed for that comic series. So it's kind of more in line with what we see today, where we'll have like an ongoing, like DC Collectibles has an ongoing line of figures, but it'll be based off a Batman story for 4 or 5 figures, and a Superman story for 4 or 5 figures, and the Justice League for 4 or 5 figures, you know. That's kind of how it was. It was tied into that story, and then once the story was over, there just wasn't the same interest because it was specifically made for that story.
Well,
so there you go.
That's what you get. Secret Wars. Now I remember the comic though, at least.
Well, it was the series where Spider-Man got his black suit.
Maybe because
this
this toy line wasn't like, you know, or it didn't go for very long. I just can't place it. But man,
well, how old were you in '84?
It's 4 years old.
Well, see, there you go.
But I feel like, you know, when I got to about 6 or 7 or 8, I would have came across this, and I just can't place it. It's bothering me.
Well, you would have been beyond it by then.
It's bothering me because I know I would have had these.
When you were 8, then you probably had the start of the Toy Biz stuff.
I'm going to call my mom.
Call your mama?
And like, do you remember this? And she go, oh yeah, He-Man. And I don't even want to talk to you, Mom. I don't even want to talk to you.
All right, so we'll go and take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about what some of the new toy releases then.
Yeah.
We'll talk about those turtles and stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll take a break. Be right back.
Secret Wars.
What's Dr. Doom's mission, Secret Shield? Ah, Zap Captain America with my Doom Roller.
Dr. Doom, Doom Roller, Turbo Cycle, and Captain America each sold separately. Batteries not included.
Let's roll, Doom Roller. That Ferris wheel can't stop the Turbo Cycle. Change course, Doom Roller. Now, Turbo Cycle, you're doomed.
Doom Roller and Turbo Cycle vehicles from the Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars collection, each sold separately. Action figures also sold separately. New from Mattel.
So what's new in the store?
Is that how we're starting this segment?
That's how the music goes. What's new in the store? Okay, guys, so we thought maybe we just add a little section of what's new to the store. Obviously, we work in a toy, comic book, video game store.
We do?
You know, the place where everybody wishes they worked. We actually do. It's awesome.
Where we wish we didn't.
Sometimes, yeah, you know what? Let me tell you something about working in a store like this. It sounds awesome.
That's a lot of crushed dreams.
Until years down the road, you're like, this is like a job. And this stuff becomes not as cool as you remember. First year, awesome. Everything's great.
Yeah, but do you remember there were those days we could just sit and watch Clerks 2 on a Saturday? Because there was nothing to do. There was not a lot of business. We didn't have to worry about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, starting out, we didn't have to do too much. Everything was set up. We just had to wait for somebody to walk in the door and buy something. But as you may or may not know, when you own a store, that doesn't.
Well, yeah, but then you added
necessarily happen.
You added comics, and you added more toys, and you added, you know, a whole lot more inventory that didn't have before.
Yeah, well, now we're busy, so we don't have time for anything. But I just want to show you guys, maybe every week we'll just briefly go through some of the new toys that are into the store. If we went through everything, it'd take, you know, it'd be a whole couple hours of what's new.
And it would be one big commercial.
Yeah, and you don't want that.
So.
But we'll just talk about some of the toys, and we'll just kind of show you what's new and what's out there.
So what do we have here?
Okay, so one of the first things I'm going to show you right now is, which is awesome, I've been waiting for a long time, is if you remember back a couple months ago, Funko said that they were going to release in their mini vinyl mystery minis Ninja Turtles. And at first, you know, the pictures look great, and they finally arrived, and I decided that because of how awesome they are, because they're based more so on the cartoon version of the Turtles than the new movie and all that, that I was going to open up a case and take a look at them. Now, they're as good quality as all the other Funko Mystery Minis, so if you have any of those from the horror line, the Hello Kitty, the Marvel, the Guardians, the DC, any of those, you're going to get the same type of quality, so that's good. But I do have some problems with them, and I'm going to talk about them real quickly. Okay, so as far as all the characters except the Turtles go, they're good. I mean, I can't really complain. The Shredder, the Rocksteady Bebop.
I don't know. April to me is a little iffy.
Well, let me get there first. Let me just talk about the villains.
All right.
The Shredder, the Rocksteady Bebop, and the Foot Soldier they're awesome. I mean, they are. I don't even know if you can see this or not, but this is like the most
a lot of
iconic,
detail.
very detailed, and they are exactly the way you want them as a collector. Everything you remember from the cartoons and most of your childhood growing up Turtles, here they are reflected in these. So if you see these, you want all the villains. Shredder, but I mean, and then we come against Krang, which sounded great, and if you look at the pictures on the box, you know, it looks like it would have been a lot better than it was. The android body is great, but where they have Krang here is they kind of put like a little, I wouldn't say a sticker, I guess it's painted, but it looks like they just put a little sticker there, and they didn't sculpt any of this, which is really disappointing because I had high hopes that this would actually, you know, he'd maybe be sticking out a little bit, and the way it's painted, or the sticker, it kind of looks a little cheap, and it kind of ruins this figure for me, which I was really upset because I was really excited to get it. Now, the Splinter is really good. He's really detailed. He's, you know, perfect as a cartoon reference, so he's fine. The April's okay, but she's got kind of like a flat face kind of thing going on here, so she just looks awkward, but it is the April that you would want. And the Casey Jones is great.
Casey Jones looks great.
Yeah, he's sculpted perfect. He's got like a weird kind of a blue tint to his mask, though.
No, I'm fine with that.
But
it's like a blue-gray.
Yeah, you know, if you have something to pick, you know, be picky about, that's that. But that's fine. However, here's the problem with the Turtles. Now they do have the dumbest expressions on their face, which sucks because all the other figures in this line are a good representation of the figure themselves. And what's worse about this is they're kind of like fat. I mean, you know, they're clearly in the same scale, but they look out of scale because it looks like they almost took the figure and stretched it a little, like a quarter of an inch or an inch, and it makes them, like, in comparison to the other figures,
it's like they have a huge head compared to
so if they're staying
April,
so if you have them on their own, they look great. If you have them sit next to the other guys, they look like fat little like sumo turtles.
Fat little turd hole.
So that is what's up with these. Now I gotta tell you, they do come in a retail box, and in case there are 12, which come in these little mystery boxes here. What you should know is, and I figured this out for you, so you're welcome, that if you get a box that hasn't been touched yet, there's a full set in that box. Now, previously, all the other ones were, you know, there's variations, and you didn't know what you're going to get completely. But if you pick up a full box, you're going to get the full set.
Well, and yeah, it says 1 in 12 chance of each. So there's no glow in the dark, there's no bloody variant, there's no hidden one in there. It's like you buy a case of 12, you're going to get one of each of the 12.
So if you want a set, just pick up the whole box. Here's the problem. If you go to buy some of these and there's a couple missing, that's really going to ruin your day. Because then you're going to then you'll be on the search trying to find.
You need to find some place where you can order an unopened case. Like, will Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, will they sell an unopened case to somebody if they order 12?
I don't know, but what you should do is go to shoppcn.com and just buy them from us. We're gonna have a bunch of these open for sale, just, you know, as they are. They're like $6.95, $7 for one of these figures. You can buy them individually, and you just get what you get. Or if you buy a full 12, you get a full set. But they're pretty cool. I'm really happy with these.
But if they went to shoppcn.com and bought 12 of these, they're not going to get a whole set.
If we have 12 available, you probably will get a set, because they'll be a sealed box, I would imagine. Well, anyways, we'll try our best to make that happen. Also coming out is from the same line, is what they're calling the science fiction vinyl line. Now, basically what they did here is they took all their properties that they had licenses for and kind of grouped them in and kind of almost made up a set. Because, let's face it, we got aliens and predators in there. They could have been in the horror set. They didn't necessarily have to go to sci-fi. But then you got Tron, you got Spock, you got RoboCop,
Firefly,
you got the Firefly guys,
Judge
you got E.T., Judge Dredd, Mars Attacks, and you got, what is that?
Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
And Rocketeer.
And Rocketeer. So a bunch of random sci-fi-ish / horror / action figures that kind of fit in the same genre. They smashed together and created the science fiction set. Now these are equally as cool as the Turtles, but with this one you're getting a variation of whatever's in the box. So
this does have chase figures. There is a clear Predator. There's a glow-in-the-dark Tron figure. Mars Attacks is a 1 in 72.
And these are coming in a 12-pack case. So with these, you're just going to get what you get. When I opened up our cases, they did say assortment E, assortment B, assortment C. So there are a ton of different variations of what you're actually going to get. So
I have the Tron and the glow-in-the-dark Tron from this, and they are in this same type of kind of chunky style of the vinyl blind box mystery minifigures. So
I've been pretty happy.
I like the
mysteries.
quality of how they look, but it's one of those things where I ordered those specific figures. I might order a RoboCop. I'm kind of contemplating that, but some of these, like, I don't want any of the Firefly guys. I don't care. I don't want.
Look, you buy
Judge
a mystery
Dredd.
mini, you get what you get. That's how it works.
Yeah, well, I don't want to buy mysteries. I want to buy specifics. I want specific minis.
And for everybody,
When are they gonna do Funko specific minis? Because that's what I want to buy.
They don't do that. And for anybody who cares, the Game of Thrones mystery vinyl figures are now back in stock in our store. So they've been out for months everywhere, gone, but they're finally back. So if you care about those, you can get those.
What about the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Moving on. So next up from McFarlane that we just got in, completely behind as they usually are, it's Assassin's Creed figures, and these are from Black Flag, I believe. Black Flag.
Is it? Yeah, Black Flag.
Black Flag, yes.
Is that 4?
Well, let me back up and say this is a mix because obviously there's characters. There's Connor with the mohawk from 3, and then there's Aveline from Liberation HD.
What was Liberation?
I'm pretty sure that was that the tablet version?
Maybe.
Anyways,
I don't know.
And then from Black Flag Freedom Cry we have Oddwell.
Olawale?
I didn't play that far into it, so. Yeah. But these are coming out really late, and what's funny is because they knew these shipped really late in as far as the Assassin's Creed timeline goes, that they changed the unlocks on the back with stickers that say now that
because originally it was supposed to unlock exclusive missions in the game. Right?
Yeah, in content. If you bought the figure, you use the code and get in the game unlock content. Well, now that the game's so old that most of that content codes are dead. So now what they're going to give you is U play points. So you get 20 U play points when you enter these codes, and I'm pretty sure that's the U play points you just use to buy whatever.
That's like the Ubisoft online rewards.
So
service.
You get points, and you can use those points to buy whatever. So at least you're getting something. You're not getting completely screwed on that. But we have these 3 figures available, just out from McFarlane. Not McFarlane. Yeah, McFarlane. So look for those. Those are new. Next. All right, and for you Marvel Legend freaks and Spider-Man guys, the next wave of Marvel Legends is a Spider-Man 2 mix.
So these have been at some of the, I think like Target and places like that got these a little while ago.
And the bill of figure for this is going to be, what is that? That's Green Goblin?
Yeah.
So, who...
Although it looks more like Ultimate Green Goblin.
It looks like Incredible Hulk with the demon.
But he's got like the demon flames and stuff. That's Ultimate Green Goblin.
So in this set, what we have here? We have...
Captain Boomerang. I don't know, what's his...
I gotta look him up because...
He's from Superior Foes of Spider-Man. I know that much. There's Beetle and...
It doesn't say his name. It just says, it says Deadly Foes. It could be 2. There's 2 different characters.
Yeah, it could be... You're either going to get Beetle or Captain Boomerang. I don't know. I can't think of what his name is.
Well, anyways, that's weird. There's a split on that, but clearly we only got Captain Boomerang.
Because this is the other split. The Skyline Sirens. You either get Black Cat or you get Spider Girl, and we got Spider Girl.
Okay, well that sucks. And then you get Amazing Spider-Man from Amazing Spider-Man 2. You get Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2, the movie. And from...
Oh, this is another split.
Oh, come on.
Spawn of Symbiotes. You either get Carnage or you get this other Carnage.
Angry Face Carnage.
I don't know what the difference is.
We're like terrible at knowing these character names.
But this is the one that I'm actually excited for. Superior Spider-Man. The good Spider-Man, the interesting Spider-Man that they just got rid of, like a bunch of douchebags. This is the Spider-Man that was awesome.
So yeah, so in every case there's enough to build one full Build-A-Figure set and 2 extras, which I believe in this case would have been the Ultimate Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man, and the regular Spider-Man.
What do you mean 2 extras?
A case pack is, how much is this? This is 6. There's 8. So it takes 6 to build the Build-A-Figure, and there's 2 extras in every case. But in this case, we had 2 Superior Spider-Mans and 2 Amazing Spider-Mans. I don't have them here. So
I gotcha. Okay. All right, okay.
So, these are pretty cool.
So wait, who's got his body? Okay, there's the body.
Yeah, the Siren's got the body.
There's the head in the symbiotes. You've got legs in the Foes and Superior Spider-Man.
And Electro and Spider-Man from Amazing Spider-Man 2 have the arms.
So there you go.
Boom, 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 boom. So pretty cool. And of course, we're going to be selling this as a set, so you can get the whole Build-A-Figure instead of trying.
But you've got the 2 extras, so I could buy the 2 extras. I could buy the loose Superior Spider-Man then.
It's not going to be loose. It's going to be in the package. But
well,
yes, you can.
Loose from the set.
Next.
Is what I mean.
And one cool thing
from
Mezco is the good guy Chucky doll. Now, what's great about this figure is, obviously, if you collect horror figures or you know anything about Chucky, is that basically this is a clean version of the good guy doll, which hasn't really been done, aside from the Japanese one that was done years and years and years ago. So you're getting just like he appeared in Child's Play 2, Chucky in the good guy doll box with his actual Chucky face. It doesn't have the good guy face, it's a Chucky face, but on the good guy doll body. Clean, it's not dirty, it's not bloody, it's just straight up in the box. And it talks.
Time to play. You know what they say. You just can't keep a good guy down.
And I think I don't know if there's like a tab you pull out and it says more, but if you push it in the box as it is, it just does those 2.
Time to play.
So,
okay.
And it doesn't say if it says anything else. And I think these are 18-inch, which makes them basically life-size, of the figure. These are from Mezco, and Mezco hasn't done Chucky in this box set for pretty much a long time, aside from the Living Dead doll ones. Now, it is kind of expensive because of the size and the quality of the figure. It's a $100 figure.
Oof.
But he does come in a box. He has his knife too, so when you get him out of the box, you can pose him with the knife.
Oh, there's a knife in there?
Yeah, as he appears, it's like on the side. You can't see it from the box, but if you pull it all out, he has the knife. And it's as he appeared in the Child's Play 2, with the knife.
Cool.
So that's what's new.
Perfect for Halloween. That's the type of thing that you get and you just stick in the front window of your house and freak out your neighbors.
It's a $100 figure, so you gotta think, this is going to be like a, Halloween gift to yourself, or it's going to be a really good Christmas present to that person who, who's really into Child's Play.
All right.
There you go. And that's what's new in the store this week.
Yay! All right, so we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about some of your questions and comments and all of that type of stuff. Wrap up the show.
All right.
All right. Be right back.
You asked for it. And now,
Chucky's back.
peekaboo.
Don't get out of the car. Don't get out of the car.
I watched half the movie like this. Bad boy.
More Chuck for the buck. Child's Play 2, rated R. Starts Friday, November 9th at theaters everywhere.
All right, guys. Before we get into these typed out comments.
These ones.
These right here. We did get a voicemail from a fan. Left his name off on the first call, called back, left his name on the second call, but of course I forgot to write it down. But anyway.
Okay.
Just so you know. But anyway,
well prepared.
He wanted to know if we could do army ants on the show. He had a request that we do army ants.
Army ants, huh?
And army ants, I'm not real
real
familiar with army ants. Are you real familiar with them?
I'm a little. I'm just trying to remember if I have any.
Well, I can tell you that as of, let's see, 48 minutes ago, I now proudly own some army ants. Coming from eBay.
Oh, you got eBay. Huh?
So I said, hey, if I can find some, for a pretty decent price, why not? And I've got, I think it's like 8 of them coming. It was like $10.
I was trying to debate because I feel like I have a couple of them, but I just can't remember. But sure, we'll do that.
So anyway, we've got some army ants coming, so you can look for that in an upcoming episode of the show. So there you go.
Not next one, but probably the one.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got to come in the mail, and I got to clean them up, and I got to look for accessories and whatever.
Oh yeah, sure you do. Yeah.
Besides, I did this show. You've got next show. I'm not doing another one for 4 weeks.
Oh, and you got something special coming.
Next week? Yeah, what are you doing next week? You don't even know. You haven't even thought about it yet.
I just don't want to tell you. It's a surprise.
All right. First up, Belgian Lego Man.
Uh-huh.
He left a comment on jointheforums.com, the official forums of the Pop Culture Network. Yeah. He wanted to know what you think about the recent Lego Star Wars Sandcrawler set. Now, I don't know anything about the Lego Star Wars Sandcrawler set. Is there something special about it, or?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have to look at a picture of it to remember exactly what it is. But I do know this: all the new Lego Star Wars stuff, I don't know, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, I swore off Lego Star Wars completely. I was like, you know what? I've had enough. I have too much. I have too many Legos. Unbelievable amount that are all in a box still, new, sealed, and sometimes I have 3 or 4 of the same set stacked up that I've come to realize them. And I'm reflecting on this just the other day as I'm looking in my garage, and I'm looking at the stacks of stuff to the ceiling, and I'm going, why do I own 3 of those? Why do I own 2 of those? Why do I own 4 of those? And I'm looking at this Star Wars. And I decided I need to trim down what I own Lego-wise. What I'm really into is impulse bag Legos with the figures in them that you find usually at the cash wraps and stores that are like $5, $4 or $5. I'm trying to buy all those that I can find because I like those. As long as they include a figure, I don't like those little mini model sets. They just don't do enough for me. I just want the figure. I also do the anytime they do a box set with minifigures, whether it be a 4-pack in the long boxes or if it's a split box with just 4 or 5 figures, I buy all those. And I'm sticking to castle theme, which by the way I totally did not buy any of the recent castle stuff.
Why not?
I don't know. I couldn't bring myself to spend the money.
But now you want them.
Well, I need the castle at least. So
I didn't buy them, so now I want them.
I'm sticking to the castle thing, and I'm sticking to the pirate theme, and other than that, that's it. Pirates, castle, and some of the movie stuff or licensed property stuff I've been buying. But that's it.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Here's the thing on the Sandcrawler. It was originally released.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Okay.
Oh, so that's all you need to see?
I just need to see the picture to remind you what was good about that. No, this set is actually good, and I can't remember how many pieces it was. It was over $100 though. Yeah.
Well, it's now 3,296 pieces.
3,000. Oh yeah, so that's like 140.
This is the re-release. $299.99 is the retail.
Oh wait a minute. Oh yes. Go back up.
Go back up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. What's great about this is I actually have the first release of this.
There's the 2005 set. This sold for $139.99.
Yeah. So.
And this was 1,669 pieces. So they've made it bigger. This is 3,296 pieces. So this is almost.
Oh, well, you showed me the wrong picture. That's the new one.
This is the new one.
Okay, so I have the one that came out first. I didn't see this new one yet. Stores.
It came out. It's already out.
Okay. Well, at any rate, it's too big. It's way too big.
It's too big.
No, it is because the problem is. Here's the problem, and this is one of the reasons I stopped doing Star Wars Lego because the scale is starting to get crazy. Okay, and I'm really big on scale when it comes to these figures. When they start doing these like this is obviously a more elaborate.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's huge,
but it's huge, and which would have been fine if that's the way they originally released it. But in comparison to the other one looks like a mini of that, and
do you think it hurts?
Well, no, because it's fine. It's just this particular one is too big in comparison to any of the other Lego Star Wars stuff I have because I have most of the under $100 sets like the $40, $60 ships or whatever. And in comparison, those two are fine. However, when you get into the $300, $400 sets, those become a whole new scale altogether. And that's the problem with those is there's just so like if you only own one or two of them, great. But if you own all the other stuff and you throw that into the mix, it becomes a totally out of scale.
So if you splurge to buy one of the big collector sets, it's not going to match with everything else that you have that you.
Well, I mean, obviously the figures are all the same, so that's not a problem.
Right, but the Sandcrawler on the other one is like this big. I mean,
yeah, right.
The old Sandcrawler is like a cat, and the new Sandcrawler is like a dog.
Correct, and that's the problem for me. And that is a completely nitpick thing. But I'm very strict on Legos these days because I have to be because
You'll go nuts and spend all your money?
Well, I just acquired... Like, I don't even want to say I spend my money on it. I just acquire too many of them. Like, I just get too many of them. I get them from trades or...
How many of them do you actually build?
Oh, God, not many. Not many.
Only the ones you do videos for?
The only ones I've done videos for, and it's because I have too many. Like, I think I have over 1,000 sets. Like, it's really that bad.
So
I don't even want to.
So going forward,
I can't even wrap my mind about.
So going forward, you're pretty much just buying Castle.
Yeah, Castle and Pirate. Pirate, I have so many knockoffs too of the Pirate and Castle themed stuff, especially like those.
Are you buying any of the Creo?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Talking about the Creo stuff right now, I'm very much like the Dungeons and Dragons stuff that's out. Is that Creo? Does that connect?
I think it's Creo.
It's Creo, yeah.
Isn't it?
I have a couple of them, and I'm pretty impressed with them. But I'm waiting for them to go clearance because, without a doubt, that Creo stuff goes to clearance like constantly at any major retail. So as soon as that hits the Toys R Us clearance or Walmart or wherever, I'm going to buy up a bunch of it because not only is it a functioning game, but it's actually kind of cool, like Castle theme minifigs.
And see, the only things I bought recently are minifigures of bootleg WWE wrestling guys. It's straight from China.
Oh yeah,
that's the only thing I've.
All the bootleg stuff from China is amazing.
And a lot of the bootleg stuff is better than the actual stuff that's being put out by the companies.
Well, quality wise.
I mean, guns, tanks.
I like the variation of what they want to do, but the quality. It's comparable, I would say at best, because it's not better, but it's comparable.
All right. For Jesus. Wants you to take the phone off the hook so it won't ring in the middle of the
show. I know, dude. Look, that night, for whatever reason, never does that phone ring
and it's like 10 o'clock at night.
Never.
Who is calling?
Never does that phone ring like that, and I swear somebody's out there saying, oh, they recording in there? Let me call them. Unless it was Scotty Cash.
There is a 24-hour gym right next door, so we do get people sometimes at 11 o'clock at night that are walking out of the gym and they're like, "Whoa, what's going on in here?" Thump, thump, thump against the glass.
And you just get random, city dwellers that just happen to be flowing through this area because there's a bunch of apartment buildings and there's just constantly people almost like Walking Dead roaming the strip here. Dirtbags.
Screenplayism says, "Hey, will you ever do the Matchbox Superchargers?"
Probably not.
I don't know. What are the Matchbox Superchargers? Do you know?
Well, here's the problem with the car stuff is do you have any? I don't have any.
I don't have any, no.
Yeah, that's the problem. And
they're monster trucks.
If this let me back that up and say not. We may. The problem is doing Matchbox and Hot Wheels stuff that is I don't know if anybody really cares.
Are these the ones that had the motor in them?
Do they wind or do they pull back?
Well, I remember some that you would flip a switch on the bottom and they would run on their own.
I don't know if enough people want to see a certain Matchbox car thing, or we'll buy some. But I just can't. I couldn't imagine, and I don't want to sit here and talk ill of something you like. I'm just saying that we're trying to stick to major parts.
I mean, they look like monster trucks.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is like, what can we really say about the trucks? Unless I just totally don't know anything about the line, and I'm looking like an idiot.
You look like a big jerk, right?
Yeah, I'm looking like a big jerk because they were obviously cool, but I do know I did have some as a kid growing up.
Did you?
Yeah, oh yeah. I had tons of, mostly Matchbox because we didn't, my mom didn't spend the big money on the Hot Wheels. We got the Matchbox because they were cheaper.
But they had a monster truck arena. It's a play set. Might have to.
But I did have some. I remember having a couple. Not many, but I did. See, our parents used to buy like the, if you remember the big carrying cases that had like 50 cars for like $10, and they were like the most generic cars ever.
They were just like a hollow shell with little wheels on the bottom.
So my parents constantly bought us those because, and this is a story my mom loves to tell, is I would take them outside, getting them brand new, and put them in the front yard, grab a brick, and start smashing them because I wanted to play junkyard. And I do remember having a couple.
Well, then if you had the monster trucks, you take those and you smash them and run the monster trucks on.
I would smash all my brand new cars, all of the ones I didn't like, the style or the color of, and I'd smash them all down, and then I'd, monster truck. So I just don't know I have much to say about it now.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of fans looking on the web. There are a lot of people that have been talking about them. So
yeah, and we did, and I should say we did just do Micro Machines, so it's not that big of a stretch. But man, I don't know. I don't know if we'll go there.
All right, let's see here. Mortimer T. Graves. The commercials take him back. The opening gets him in the mood to watch. He loves those little intro bumpers. Why did you put those little bumpers back in the show? Like, it's time for a TNTS review.
Because I just found them in my files. And what's really sucks about it is I don't have the original source file, so I can't change like the commercials and all that. But I do have a lot of the videos that we used to use. So I was like, let's use these again. Until we get new ones, I guess I will.
Are we ever going to get new ones?
Yeah.
All right. Scott Neely says, I did order the Masters of the Universe Classics 215 sub. 215? Yeah, 215. 2015 sub.
That's way too future.
But $75 for the big figures? No thanks. But then he goes, DiRT, aren't you going to get the $75 Skeletor to make into a Disco Skeletor? No. Normally, yes, but not at $75. There's no way I'm going to pay $75 just to buy a Skeletor to make them into... I have a hard enough time paying the $27 for the new Adventure Skeletor to make them into a Disco Skeletor. I'm not going to pay the $75.
And who's to say these don't show up at Big Lots for $20?
That's true. No, they won't go to Big Lots. They'll go to Dollar General.
That's okay.
Just because.
Great, they're next door.
That'd be because. Let's see here. Plastic Planet Plus. Let's see. He says, thank you for reading my suggestion. Just keep making these great videos. I'll keep watching. Have a great one, guys.
You're welcome again.
So, why not? Okay. Bart D-Man 95 says, I was just thinking, do a toy review about Play-Doh.
Man. Well, I mean, it makes sense. It's a major toy from all our childhoods. I mean, if you didn't play Play-Doh, then something was wrong with you. But you were, they didn't want you near that stuff because you'd eat it. But, man, what do you say about Play-Doh, really?
I mean, I guess you could take like the dentist set, where you make the teeth and then you got to drill the teeth and you pull the teeth out and then you make the new teeth.
But there's literally hundreds, maybe even thousands of play sets and variations of that because
you would have to have
molding, right?
Well, do you remember they used to have the Play-Doh ones that were like the Droid Factory? Like you could make a C-3PO or an R2-D2. You like make your own figures, and they had monster sets of those, like Universal monsters. You could make the Frankenstein Wolfman.
There's so much.
But I think if you had sets like those that were specific, like A, they're licensed, and B, it's like you're making an action figure, but you're making it with Play-Doh. That might be something that could be fun to review. just for the sake of, hey, look, I'm making action figures out of Play-Doh. You know what I mean?
That requires further research because I don't know how we make that work. And how to make that entertaining. You know, what are we going to say?
Look, you make them and then you crush them and then
But
you...
do you have any sets? I decided as a parent I was not going to buy any of that stuff for my kids because it's so messy.
My son doesn't really care much for Play-Doh. My daughter loves it, but she always gets just whatever random like Big Lots set. Like she doesn't care about anything licensed or whatever. Just something that has like make flower petals.
I don't know if that stuff like was just worked better in the past because I remember as a kid, you know, our parents gave us tons of that stuff and they didn't care what we did with it. But as a parent now, looking back on it, we had a couple of them and I was like, oh, we ain't doing Play-Doh no more. The stuff gets everywhere. So I don't know. Maybe they make it like not as good as they used to make it.
Well, I know like stuff like Mundo is super ass nasty. It leaves like this film on your fingers, and if you get any on the floor, it's like there's like a razor thin layer. You can never get up unless you grab like an actual razor blade and are scraping. It's not like you can just grab a rag and wipe it up. Because I remember Play-Doh.
Well, you're selling it.
When we were little, when you'd play with Play-Doh and you'd have all the crumbs, you would just go like this and make a big ball out of it.
That's what I'm saying.
And you could ball up all your loose Play-Doh.
My memories of Play-Doh as a kid wasn't messy, and you could clean up real easy just by rolling it together, slapping the thing, and it was always moist and ready to roll. But being a parent and playing with the Play-Doh, you know, it's been a couple of years, but I remember it just blew up in a million pieces, and it was just some over there, and
I think it also used to be a lot cheaper. Because that's another thing. It just seems like it's more expensive now.
So more than likely, the stuff was very toxic back then and made us some terrible stuff. And just now it's safer and
so it costs more.
And it doesn't work as good.
Stupid safety jerks.
Ruining my life.
All right, one thing we talked about with micro machines last time is that some of them had screws and some of them had like those flat rivets, whatever in them. Jestermon1 says, I have some official micro machines and they also have the screws.
Well, that was because you were just talking out of turn. You didn't know what you were saying. That was just on reflection, looking at them and not knowing. We didn't research that part of it.
We just made it up.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounded good, right?
No.
I mean, it seemed plausible. All right, finally, Bart D-Man95 left a second comment here. He says, I agree with your thoughts about Star Wars and Star Trek micro machines. In my toy room, I separate those from the regular micro machines. I was having a dilemma when I first got the Star Wars and or Star Trek micro machines, if I had to display them with or separate them from the regular cars. When my collection grew, I just placed them on a different table. So there are times when toy lines just don't make sense to keep them together. Those are like a licensed property, so they make sense to put those, you know, even though they're micro machines and you have micro machines, they're better off sitting with your Star Trek stuff or your Star Wars stuff, not in your micro machine set, because you're not going to intermix those.
Yeah, you just can't. They're just so completely different.
It's like with my Play-Doh sets, I keep my licensed Play-Doh Star Wars sets with my Star Wars toys, and then like the big dentist head that you open up and you put the teeth in, or the McDonald's set where you make the hamburger and fries, I keep those separate because they don't go with the other license.
You keep those in your dentistry department?
Yeah, well, because, I mean, look, the guy is a big head, you feed him a cheeseburger and fries, he doesn't brush his teeth, the teeth get all nasty, you got to drill, you got to fill it up, and then eventually you got to yank them out and just make new teeth. So the McDonald's and the dentist head actually go together.
Wow.
See? It works.
Marketing.
All right, that's going to do it for this week, guys. Don't forget, if you want to leave us a voicemail, you can call our 24-hour voicemail line. It's area code 217-953-4025. If you want to find us on Twitter, it's at PopCultureNet. You can go to...
You just sound very confident.
Yeah, it took me a minute. Like, is that the right one or not? If you go to Google+, you can find us under Pop Culture Network 1. For whatever reason, it had to have a 1 at the end. It couldn't just be regular.
Okay. I don't use Google+, I gotta be honest.
I do use it. Well, but it'll show up with your notifications, like your YouTube notifications, everything show up in the little bell. It'll be up there as well. So, of course, you can find our channel on YouTube, where most of you are watching this. Or you can go to our forums at jointheforums.com, the official forums of the Pop Culture Network. You can leave your questions and comments there. Plus, people talk about other stuff like comic books and video games. People post pictures of the new toys that they bought to show off. It's our biggest and longest running thread. It's like 400 pages long. It's been going for years. People showing off all their new toys, so make sure you can go and take a look at that.
And also be sure to, if you're on Facebook, just find us on Facebook where we basically post stuff daily there. Anytime we have any updates and news to the site, it goes there, and a lot of discussion occurs there. It's almost like, you know, Facebook is becoming the new message board.
Yeah, I kind of wish there was a way to integrate our message board and Facebook. But,
So-
I mean, you know, in 3 years, Facebook will be the new MySpace, and everyone will be Instagramming. Or
Well,
whatever.
we'll see how that plays out.
Anyway.
We'll see.
All right, guys.
Instagramming?
Instagramming.
You,
Snapchatting?
you grandma?
Vining?
Oh, yeah, Vines. We should just make
Vines.
Vines toys.
I made a Vine today, actually. Find me on Vine. I made a brand new Vine today.
What?
Yeah. I Vine. I'm hip and cool, down with the kids on the low.
Man, you changed.
With the
you changed.
the tech and the
You used to be so cool.
the hopping and the hipping with the stuff.
And don't stop.
The guys.
Yeah. All right, I'm done.
See ya.
See you guys.